Welcome to English Conversation Café. Learn English through natural conversations.
Okay. Haley, do it. Show them.
Hello, my name is Haley. I am 29 years old. I work in podcast. My hobby is talking. I like coffee. I have one cat. His name is Gerald.
Gerald.
He is orange. He is fat. I love him.
Stop. That was the most terrifying 30 seconds of my life.
That is word for word how I introduced myself in my first English class.
Wait, Gerald was real?
Gerald is very real, and he does not appreciate being used as an example.
Okay, if you have ever introduced yourself in English and thought, why does this feel so weird? This episode is for you.
We are going to fix that today. For real.
Welcome to English Conversation Café. I'm Max.
And I'm Haley. Yes, Gerald is a real cat, and yes, I will bring him up again.
Today's episode is all about talking about yourself in English. And I know what some of you are thinking. I already know how to do that.
My name is Haley. I am 29. I like coffee. Done. Perfect. Goodbye.
Right. And that works on a form. It does not work in a real conversation.
So by the end of this episode, you will have real phrases. Phrases that sound like a human person and not a government document.
They're going to stick because we're going to use them, practice them, and have a little fun along the way. So, if this sounds good to you, please hit subscribe and give us a like right now.
It genuinely helps us make more episodes. And honestly, it makes Max's whole week.
It really does. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, I want to start with a question. Have you ever been in a situation where someone said, "So, tell me about yourself," and your brain just shut down completely?
Shut down. Blue screen of death.
That happened to me. I was about 22. I had just moved to a new city, and I went to this casual dinner, a get-together with a group of people I'd never met before.
Oh, I already feel anxious for you.
So this woman, very warm, very friendly, clearly trying to make me feel welcome, she turns to me and says, "Max, tell us about yourself."
And what did you say?
I said, I'm Max.
That's it?
Full stop. Dead silence. I just stared at her like a deer in headlights.
You said your own name and gave up.
In my defense, I knew so many things about myself. I just could not find a single one in that moment. It was like someone opened my brain and it was completely empty.
How long was the silence?
Long enough that the woman said, "Are you from around here?"
She gave you a backup question.
She rescued me. She was very kind. Anyway, that is exactly why this topic matters.
That is the most Max thing I have ever heard. Okay, I have one too. So I was at a party, right? I walked up to this guy, introduced myself, we had a little chat, very normal. Then I moved on.
Okay, normal so far.
About 40 minutes later, I walked up to the same guy and introduced myself again.
No.
Different energy, different opener. I just launched right into it like we'd never met.
He recognized you?
He recognized me. He just let it happen. He smiled and said, "Nice to meet you," again.
He played along the whole time?
And it was only when I walked away that my friend grabbed my arm and said, "Haley, that's the same person."
That is incredible.
And the truly sad part? My first introduction was so forgettable that we both forgot it. That is a problem.
That is actually the perfect example of why this topic matters so much. It's not just about saying words. It's about making a real impression.
A memorable one. Today we show you how to do that.
And the good news? Each one has a simple, natural fix. And that's exactly what we're going to cover right now. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes people make when they talk about themselves in English. And Haley is going to help me act each one out.
I was born for this role.
Mistake number 1. I call this the robot resume.
Oh, that's mine. Ready?
Go.
My name is Haley. I am 29 years old. I am from Chicago. I work in podcasting. I studied communications. I am not married. I have 1 cat.
And every single sentence has the exact same rhythm, same length, same energy.
It sounds like someone reading their driver's license out loud.
Exactly. The problem isn't the information, it's the structure. In real English, you don't list facts, you connect them. So instead of, I am from Chicago, you say, I'm originally from Chicago, but I've been living in New York for about 3 years now.
Same information, but now it's a small story, and it opens a door.
Oh, what brought you to New York? Suddenly, you have a real conversation going.
I'm originally from... Remember that phrase. It's one of the most natural ways to say where you're from.
Beautiful. Okay, mistake number 2. I call this the disappearing act.
Oh, I've witnessed this so many times.
This is when someone gives one fact, and then the conversation just dies.
Okay, watch this. I'm Haley.
And now everyone is looking at the floor.
It's not that learners don't have more to say. They just don't know how to keep going in English. They run out of language.
Right. So the fix is what I call an expand phrase. You say one fact, and then you add a little more with a connector. Like this. I'm Haley. I'd say I'm a pretty creative person. I'm always working on some kind of new project.
See, I'd say I'm... That tiny phrase does so much. It softens the description. It doesn't sound arrogant. I'd use it like, I'd say I'm the kind of person who can talk to absolutely anyone, for better or worse.
That is genuinely true about you. And it's a great example, because saying, I am like that, feels a bit much. But I'd say that sounds relaxed, confident, but not showing off.
And it's an invitation. It makes the other person want to ask more.
Exactly. Okay, mistake 3, my personal favorite. I call this one the accidental life story.
Oh no, I know exactly what this is.
Someone asks, so, what do you do? And 20 minutes later, they are still talking.
They've covered their childhood, 3 job changes, a difficult relationship, and their 5-year plan.
And the other person is just nodding, slowly trying to back away.
Physically trapped.
So the fix is learning to be interesting in a short, focused way. And the phrase that does this best is, I'm the kind of person who...
Because it skips the resume and goes straight to your personality.
Exactly. So instead of a long story, I'm the kind of person who always needs a project on the go. If I'm not making something, I get restless.
That is 100% you.
Maybe. But see how it works. It's short, specific, memorable.
And you can stack them. I'm originally from Chicago, and I'd say I'm the kind of person who always needs to be busy.
One sentence. Where you're from, what you're like. Sounds completely natural.
Okay, and one more phrase before we move on. This one is, I've always been into.
Good one.
Because my hobby is cooking sounds like a school essay, but I've always been into cooking, honestly, since I was maybe 8 years old. That sounds like a real person.
It adds history. It adds warmth. And that word always makes it feel like a genuine part of who you are.
Not just something you do on Sundays when you're bored and the Wi-Fi is out.
Right. Okay, we've got 4 great phrases already. let's take a breather and do something fun.
Okay, this is my favorite part of the episode. We are playing Two Truths, One Lie.
If you don't know this game, it is a classic English party game. You say 3 things about yourself. 2 are true, 1 is a lie. Everyone guesses which one is the lie.
It's one of the best ways to practice talking about yourself in English because it feels like a game, not like homework.
And you can play it anywhere. A party, a networking event, a first day at a new school or job.
The key detail: make the lie believable. That's what makes the game fun.
Exactly. Okay, I'll go first. 3 things about me. Ready?
Ready?
1. I once got completely lost in Tokyo for 6 hours with a dead phone battery.
Oh no!
2. I speak 3 languages, but I always dream in English.
Interesting.
3. I once ate the exact same meal every single day for 2 months straight.
What? Okay, which one is the lie? I genuinely do not know.
What do you think?
The Tokyo one feels like something you would absolutely do. The language one sounds real. So, the meal one? Please tell me that's the lie.
The lie is the pasta.
I knew it!
I eat it every week, not every day. 2 months was a slight exaggeration.
That is still a lot of pasta, Max.
It's a very good pasta. But you see, that's the trick. The lie has to be close enough to the truth that people aren't sure. That's what makes it interesting.
Great example. Okay, 3 things about Haley. 1. I once accidentally called my teacher Mom in front of the whole class.
Classic.
2. I can do 8 different accents, but I genuinely cannot do a convincing American accent.
Wait, really? You're American.
3. I failed my driving test 4 times before I finally passed.
Okay, I think the accent one is the lie. You're American. You can definitely do an American accent.
You would think, but when I try to do it on purpose, my brain breaks. It comes out completely fake. That one is actually true.
So, 4 driving tests?
3.
Haley.
3 is still a lot. Anyway, the key lesson here: make the lie feel plausible. That's what keeps people guessing.
And that's also great English practice, because you have to describe yourself in complete, natural sentences.
Write your 2 truths and 1 lie in the comments. Use our phrases, I'm originally from, I've always been into, full sentences, not just facts. We actually read them, so we might reply.
No guarantees, but we'll try.
He will read them. He loves the comments. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, so we've talked about what to say. Now let's talk about something that trips people up even more. What to do when someone asks a follow-up question.
Because here's what happens. A learner gives a great, natural introduction. They feel good, confident. And then someone says, "Oh, that's interesting. What do you love most about it?" And they just freeze.
The follow-up panic. It is very real.
So we're going to do a quick role play. Max, pretend we just met at a casual dinner. Ask me something.
So Haley, what do you do?
Oh, I work in podcasting. I co-host a show about learning English, actually.
No way, that's so interesting. What do you love most about it?
Honestly, what I really love is when a listener messages us and says they used one of our phrases in real life. Like that moment when English stops being study and just becomes life. That's the best feeling.
That was a great answer. Did you hear the phrase?
What I really love is use that when someone asks what you enjoy or what motivates you. It signals real enthusiasm. It says, "This matters to me."
It's so much more alive than, "I like my job because it is good."
It is good. Maximum passion right there.
Okay, let's do the more formal version too, because context matters a lot. First day at a new job. Your manager asks you to introduce yourself to the team.
Hi, everyone. I'm Haley. I'm joining the content team. I'm originally from Chicago, and I've been working in media for about 5 years. People often tell me I'm the person who brings a lot of energy to a room, which I really hope is a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
People often tell me This one is gold in professional settings, because you're not saying, I am amazing. You're quoting what other people say about you.
It feels humble and confident at the same time.
Exactly. You're sharing someone else's opinion. It doesn't sound like bragging.
And keep it believable. People often tell me I'm very organized. Great. People often tell me I'm basically a genius. Maybe save that one.
Save it for your own diary.
Okay, 2 more phrases. This first one is for when you want to share something that really matters to you. More than anything,
This phrase shows priority. It says, of everything I could tell you, this is what's most important to me. So you might say, more than anything, I just love connecting with people.
Or, more than anything, I want to keep learning new things. Short, specific, and it makes people lean in.
You could even combine them. People often tell me I'm very driven, and honestly, more than anything, I just love the feeling of making progress. That's a full, interesting answer from just 2 phrases.
That actually sounded really natural.
Right? And the last phrase ties it all together. To be honest, this is a softener. It signals to the other person that you're about to say something genuine.
Like, to be honest, I wasn't sure about this career at first, but now I can't imagine doing anything else.
It makes you sound real. And in any language, real beats perfect every time.
People connect with honesty so much more than with a polished, rehearsed answer.
And, I think that's actually the biggest takeaway from this whole episode. When you talk about yourself in English, you don't need to be impressive. You just need to be yourself.
And use our phrases, which definitely helps.
Which definitely helps. Always. Okay, we have one question for you. And this one is simple but really powerful.
Write one sentence about yourself in the comments, using any phrase from today. One sentence, that's it. It can be serious, funny, weird, anything you like.
Something like, I'm originally from Brazil and I've always been into music. Or, I'd say I'm the kind of person who talks way too much in the morning.
That one is absolutely me.
We know, Max. Anyway, just try it. One sentence. You'll be surprised how good it feels to write it in English and actually sound natural.
And if you're feeling brave, do the full 2 truths, 1 lie in the comments. We genuinely want to play.
Okay, and speaking of practice, let's lock in every phrase from today.
It is time for the Cafe Rewind. This is where we go back through the best expressions from today and make sure they stick.
8 phrases, all from today, all real. Let's go.
Expression number 1. I'm originally from.
This is the natural, warm way to say where you're from, especially when you add a little more context. For example, I'm originally from Seoul, but I moved to London about 2 years ago. Now your turn. I'm originally from. Finish it with your city or country. Go ahead.
Expression number 2. I'd say I'm.
Use this to describe your personality without sounding arrogant. It softens the statement perfectly. For example, I'd say I'm a pretty patient person. It takes a lot to stress me out. Your turn. I'd say I'm. Add your own personality word. Try it now.
Expression number 3. I'm the kind of person who.
This goes straight to your habits and personality. No long story needed. For example, I'm the kind of person who makes a to-do list and then immediately loses it. Your turn. I'm the kind of person who. Make it personal. Say it now.
Expression number 4. I've always been into.
This replaces my hobby is with something that actually sounds warm and human. For example, I've always been into photography. I literally take pictures of everything. Your turn. I've always been into. What's something you've loved for a long time? Go ahead.
4 down. Haley, the last 4 are yours.
Expression number 5. What I really love is.
Use this when someone asks a follow-up question and you want your answer to have real energy. For example, what I really love is that feeling when a new place starts to feel like home. Your turn. What I really love is. Make it yours. Say it now.
Expression number 6. People often tell me I'm.
Great for professional settings and anytime you want to sound confident without boasting. For example, people often tell me I'm really easy to talk to, which honestly makes sense. Your turn. People often tell me I'm. What do the people in your life say about you? Try it.
Expression number 7. More than anything, I.
Use this to show what matters most to you. It works in any conversation, casual or professional. For example, more than anything, I just want to make people feel welcome wherever they are. Your turn. More than anything, I. What's your number 1? Say it now.
And expression number 8. To be honest.
This is your authenticity phrase. Use it right before something personal or a genuine opinion. For example, to be honest, I used to be really shy, but I've completely changed. Your turn. To be honest. Finish the sentence. What's something real you want to say? Go ahead.
Beautiful. All 8 phrases, and every single one of them came from our actual conversation today.
8 phrases. All natural. All yours now.
Say them. Use them. Mix them together. The more you practice, the more natural they feel.
Okay, before we go, Haley, do you want to try that introduction one more time?
You remembered.
I remembered.
Okay. Hi, I'm Haley. I'm originally from Chicago, but I've been living in New York for the last few years. I'd say I'm the kind of person who finds something interesting in absolutely everything. Which sounds great until you realize I've started about 40 hobbies and maybe finished 3.
That tracks.
I've always been into storytelling. And honestly, more than anything, I just love making people feel something. To be honest, that's exactly why I love this podcast.
That was really good. Genuinely.
Thank you. Gerald is also available for comment.
Gerald always gets a mention. Okay, same information as the very beginning. Same Haley. Completely different feeling, right?
That is what the right phrases do. They don't change who you are. They just help the real you come through in English.
And that is the whole point of English Conversation Café. You don't need to be a different person in English. You just need the right tools.
If you made it all the way to the end, thank you. Genuinely. It means a lot to both of us.
Every single episode takes real work, and knowing people stick around for all of it, that means everything.
And drop your sentence in the comments. We really do want to read them. We want to know who you are.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe if you haven't already, and give us a like. It helps more people find the show, and it helps us keep making content like this.
Seriously, it only takes a second and it genuinely makes a big difference for the show. So if you haven't yet, now is the perfect moment.
Until next time, keep talking, keep practicing, and we will see you at the cafe.
Bye! And give Gerald a little wave if you see him in the comments.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for listening. We hope today's conversation helped you understand real English better. Subscribe and join us for the next episode.